to the day together and let the headlines lead the way. This is Press Drive. This is I-FLIER 103.3 FM, and this is how you start your day right. Let's go. Today is the third day in the month of June 2025, and starting with the Nation newspaper for this morning, Wike says, my take on PDP 2027 elections, Amachi and Fubara. That's on page 4 of the Nation. Police, CBN, Abuja's agency, others OFCT ground rent. That's on page 5. Headsmen killed 33 in Benue. That's on page 37. Court finds RFI 900 million naira for illegally detaining Kajuru leaders. That's on page 5. And Mokwa flood kills toll. Mocha flood deaths hit 200. Mocha flood death hit 200. That's on page 6 of the Nation. And from the Daily Times newspaper, we have this headlines. Vice President Shetima pushes cocoa processing, $25 billion gas pipeline economic drive. That's on page 2 of the Daily Times. And we have this one on page 2 as well. I'm an asset to Tinubu's victory. Will lead APC campaign in Rivers. Coming from Wike. And flood disaster survivors lament delay in emergency relief. That's on page 11. And we have more from the Daily Times. Police arrest 37-year-old Bauchi man over alleged sexual harassment of stepdaughter. That's on page 9. And on page 17, puts Nigerians' democracy on recovery path. ADC National Chairman tells Tinubu. All right, YTY Danjuma signed $2.26 million agreement to advance health in Nigeria. That's on page 5. Nigeria, security and political economy, that part 2. That's on page 16. Tinubu's renewed hope agenda has recorded growth in nation's GDP, says Kalu. That's on page 11 of the Daily Times. And from the New Telegraph newspaper, we have this headlines daring, right, on Forex. Will keep refining non-resident BVN to meet broader remittance targets, coming from Cardoso. And federal government seeks $25 billion investment for undersea gas pipeline to Europe. That's on page 8. And we have more on page 2 of the New Telegraph. Oji Kalu to Tinubu, sack more ministers, security chiefs, cite inefficiency, lack of impact on development. All right, on page 4 and page 7 of the New Telegraph, we have this one on Salah. Federal government declares Friday, Monday public holiday. All right, Hajj visa, 2,717 pilgrims miss out as Nakan urges scam. That's on page 4 and 7 of the New Telegraph. We have more. All right, we have, this is Juson strike. Appeal court, FHC, that's the Federal High Court, FCT High Court locked. All right, that's on page 2, page 5, and page 6 of the New Telegraph, with a writer that says no compliance in Supreme Court. Nobody can uproot me from PDP. I would lead Tinubu to victory in 2027. Coming from Wike, as he declares himself an asset, says he made more sacrifices than his accusers in PDP. Won't allow those who want to kill the party to have their ways. Alright, that's on page 2 as well of the New Telegraph. And we have this one, midterm. Tinubu attracted $50 billion FDI from diplomatic shuttles in 2 years. Coming from presidency, and writer says, paucity of funds stalling ambassadorial appointments. That's on page 3. On Mocha Flood, House Majority Caucus, 6 measures to curtail flooding. Obi visits Niger, donate 20 million naira to victims. That's on page 2 and 4 of the New Telegraph. Alright, Scores flee homes as headsmen murder 46 in fresh Benue attack. Alright, youth want troops withdrawn. Community-based unit restored to end militancy. NAF airstrike killed 20 terrorists in Zamfara. That's on page 4, page 6, and by extension, page 28 of the New Telegraph. SSC English paper leaked 3 days before exams. Coming from WAEC, blames poor conduct on compromise. Examination malpractice. Police arrests mother, 4 others for assault. That's on page 3 and page 28 of the New Telegraph. Fatting can reduce blood pressure. Coming from study, and that's on page 29 of the New Telegraph. A quick look at the Punch newspaper. From the Punch this morning, we have this one. Presidency moves to settle 2 trillion naira power debts. That's on page 31 of the Punch. Reps grill WAEC chiefs over exam disruptions. That's on page 16. On page 12, judiciary workers strike grounds courts. Alright, judiciary workers strike grounds courts. That's on page 12. 7 states spend 190% of revenue on loan repayment. That's on page 31. And on 2027, Wike's Tinubu endorsement sparks opposition firestorm. PDP bigwigs, opposition parties split over minister's stance, but they judge Amechi camp. Others, government estimates 880 billion naira yearly for road maintenance. That's on page 32. And IATA decries high airlines operating costs in Nigeria. Others, that's on page 32 as well. Boko Haram fueled by political elites to destabilize Tinubu. Coming from Kalu, and that's on page 15. On page 4 and 5 of the Punch, 3 Nigerians bag 15 years jail for fraud in India. Alright, Lagos APC, Labour Party in turmoil as PDP eyes local government poll upset. That's on page 7 of the Punch. And now to the Daily Trust newspaper. Death toll hits 200, over 500 missing. Alright, that's on page 4 of the Daily Trust, and that's all we have from there, because the front page is full of Governor Buni's second term in office, elevating service delivery across Yobe State, with a snapshot of key projects and programs. Right away from the Daily Trust, and now to the last one for this morning, the Guardian newspaper. We have this one: publish or perish. 97% of public universities default in online visibility, transparency, other. That's on page 6. PDP chides AGF as Osun government sues federal government for stopping council's allocations. That's on page 7. 16 years after meltdown, Naira market caps surge by 347.5%. That's on page 15. On 2027, PDP's internal crisis worsen as Wike judge trade words. That's on page 6. Natasha denial of sexual harassment allegation against me. An afterthought, says Omokri. Natasha's denial of sexual harassment allegation against me. An afterthought, says Omokri, and that's on page 5. Over 950 Southeast location occupied by bandits, herdsmen, kidnappers. That's on page 29. Ribadu's warning against ransom payment to kidnappers. Ribadu's warning against ransom payment to kidnappers. That's on page 12. NAF strike kill 20 bandits, 5 vigilantes in Zamfara. Amnesty International demands probe. That's on page 3. And still on the flood, over 1,000 still missing, 200 bodies recovered. That's on page 3 of The Guardian. These are the headlines making the rounds this morning. Now it's time for us to go into details of some of them. And with me in the house is Barrister Folusho Olakwo. Good morning to you, sir.
Yes, good morning this morning, and hope you are good.
Fine.
Good morning, Nigerians. It's another day, another very beautiful day. We bless God for it. Remember, we are preparing for Salah, so take it easy while you are enjoying your salad break and everything. Remember, do not fight anybody. Time is very hard. Be good to yourself and to others. Call your friend today and ask how they are. They need it. We all need it to be there together for ourselves and for ourselves. Good morning this morning.
All right, thank you very much, Barrister. And remember, you can drop your comment on our Facebook. We'll soon open the studio line so you can also lend your voice to the public. Right, federal government estimates 880 billion naira yearly for road maintenance. The federal government must spend about 880 billion naira annually for the maintenance of the federal road network nationwide, the Minister of State for Works, Mohammed Goroyo, declared on Monday. This came as the Managing Director of the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, Chukwemeka Abasi, disclosed that the template for deducting the road user charge from the prices of petrol and diesel was never implemented by the defunct Petroleum Products Pricing Regulatory Authority, now the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. The two government officials spoke in Abuja at an investigative hearing of the House of Representatives ADA committee. The committee is investigating. Oh wow! All right, forgive me. Yes, all right. So the two government officials spoke in Abuja. The committee is investigating the implementation and remittance of the 5% user charge for road maintenance under the Federal Road Maintenance Agency. Speaking at the event, Goroyo said, and I quote, FEMA requires an estimated 880 billion naira annually for optimal road conditions. Budgetary allocation have consistently fallen short, 76.3 billion naira in 2023, 103.3 billion naira in 2024, while 168.9 billion naira was budgeted for 2025. All right, your reaction on that very quickly.
Even if those budgeted amounts, were used for the road, at least it will be, some of them will be better than this. You just hear figures budgeted for one thing or the other, and at the end of the day, nothing happened. And next year, the budget, they'll still do the budget for that same thing. And rather than doing good things, all they do, they begin to buy, digging boreholes and something that is irrelevant to their listing. Unfortunately, we cannot get it right in this country until we go back to federalism. It is not only road that needed money. Healthcare, education, energy, and every other part of the economy needed to be upgraded. In fact, and this cannot be done except and unless we go back to real federalism. What we are practicing today is not a federal government. What we are practicing is a unitary government. A federal government has the states almost independent of each other, and the central. It is only the center have to deal with only common needs, things that are common, like maybe currency, like armed forces, like those things, common things alone. But what do we have today? Federal government had, I think there's about 90 something powers of government in the constitution. 61 of them is for the federal government. So if the center is so powerful, is so huge that the center can do whatever it likes to the constituent bodies, that is the state, then to that extent what we are having is a unitary system of government. And in a country like Nigeria that has about almost 250 or more ethnic groups, the way of doing things is very, very different. So we have to govern ourselves in the way that that suits our own type of custom and culture and traditions. And that was why the First Republic was able to work, because each of the regions were on their own, and in fact they have their own Supreme Court, they have their own embassies outside Nigeria, they have a whole lot of things, they have their own constitution, each of them. So this is how it should work. It is not all these things they are telling us, because it's just that some people are enjoying it now. They are gaining from it. That is why, especially the people that are in power, the elites, the political elites that are in power, that are gaining seriously from this contraption, and that is why they do not want to allow things to work. It is not only roads. In fact, like I said, education, health, name it, economy, everything needed to be upgraded. We needed to go back to the basis. It is not just picking one out of them that won't begin to think, that won't begin to say that we are working in this country. It will not work. We've been saying this from time immemorial. It will not work. Even if they gave them the 880 billion naira they are talking about, it will not work. Some people will have the money, will have a way of crawling into some people's pocket, or snake might swallow it, or what they needed it for. So let us come back. Let this country come back to the basis. Let us come back to the realization that this contraption called Nigeria as it is today cannot work. Until then we are deceiving ourselves.
Okay, now you agree with me that most federal government roads in various states, they are in terrible conditions.
Of course, I've said that, and I usually give the example of Ibadan, I-FLIER, yeah. So Elisha, I usually give that example because that's where I apply most of the time. And like I said, anytime I'm traveling that road for 3 days, my heart will be shaking, and throughout on that road my heart will be in my mouth until I get to my destination. When I get there, when I have to come back again, in fact the coming back is even better than the going. But of course, what is so it's the same, and it's same all over the place. And rather than trying to find solution for those existing ones, the federal government just decided to be doing super highways. So you see, sometimes I don't know, maybe somebody will just have a brainwave one day and begin to do something else, assuming those monies that were budgeted for those super highways were used to develop or to rehabilitate those roads. Then maybe today it would have been better. So I think the lack of maintenance culture is ingrained. Maybe it's in our DNA. It's not in our DNA, it's in government DNA.
Okay.
Because you can't have you cannot sit back and your home is leaking, and you will not do anything. In fact, immediately you will say go and call carpenter, let him go. But if it's federal government building, it will be leaking. Not only leaking, the roof will be scattered, and everybody will still be sitting under it and walking. Go to several schools. In fact, they are eyesore. Schools and everything scattered and everything, and our children are under those buildings. May God save this country. To be sincere, most of the time when I look at some things, I begin just to pray for this country, and that is the only thing we need.
But is it not possible that if the roads are done the right way, even the 880 billion naira they want to use to maintain it yearly, you know, I think that's still on the high side if it has been done properly.
Yeah. One, whether it is done or not done correctly, it will still be maintained.
Of course, it should be maintained, but I'm thinking that the money.
But the fact that even from the beginning, you see, okay, look at this. This our road there, Olodo to under bridge, Owo Road, under bridge. You see, every time you see them doing palliative work, causing go slow and everything. You know, they started again now, and look at what they have done. The quality of work they did. You look at it and you tell yourself that next year they will still come back to this road and to do the palliative. Who is deceiving who? Because some people would have gotten the money and the money swallowed by snake or whatever. So because they are not doing the right thing, because ordinarily I don't know, there are some of the roads that were done during the western region, though very narrow, very narrow roads, but for years those roads were there. In fact, you can still see many of them when you are traveling, because they have made a new road, and maybe it's just by the way, you still see those stars and everything on those roads. Those were the roads done by Awolowo. They call them Awolowo roads during this time as well, as the premier of Western region. Some of those roads are still functioning in some places.
Okay,
and today now you just do a road between 3 to 4 months, it's off. It's washed up by no channel, no whatever, what is it called, to channel the
drainage,
the drainage, to channel the floods away from it. Nothing. It's just be there. So there will be 1 or 2 rains, and it just that will be the end of the thing.
All right, let's move away from that and let's talk politics a little bit. This is Wike saying nobody can uproot me from PDP. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has reaffirmed his political stance ahead of the 2027 general election, declaring his full support for President Bola Tinubu and vowing to lead his re-election campaign to victory. Speaking during a live media parley on Monday, monitored by newsmen, Wike dismissed speculations about his loyalty. I will support Asiwaju. The way we won the other elections is the way we will win again. Wike said, I am not a liability. I am an asset. Whether you agree or not, I am an asset. Whether you like me or not, it doesn't change the fact I am an asset. And I would ensure Tinubu wins the second term. The former Rivers State governor emphasized that he cannot be part of any plan by the opposition People's Democratic Party and would actively oppose any coalition aimed at truncating Tinubu's chance in 2027. According to him, despite his current alliance with the All Progressives Congress-led administration, he remains a PDP member and cannot be expelled by those he described as lesser contributors to the party. Let me tell you, if I say something about the PDP today and they are telling me to leave, I say no, you are the ones to leave the party. I won't leave. Nobody can push me out of the PDP, Wike declared. I have made more sacrifice for the PDP than those accusing me of anti-party activities. Partly end of quote. Wike blamed the party for its own misfortune, particularly its failure to uphold an agreement to zone the 2023 presidential election to the south. So that went on, but I'm so particular about his words. How did they win the election? Because he said the way we won the other elections is the way we will win again. All right. So how did they win the last election?
The
and
beavers
then
did not work now.
okay.
Have you?
All right. And then it continues to say, I would ensure Tinubu wins a second term. Is it the determinant to winning the second term? That's another one. And then he now goes on to say that, let me tell you something. Okay. If I say something about the PDP today and they are telling me to leave, I say no. You are the one to leave the party. I won't leave. Nobody can push me out of the party. I have made more sacrifice for the PDP than those accusing me of anti-party activities. All that is happening now, is it not anti-party activities? So is it an accusation or something that is glaring and obvious even to the blind that this is anti-party? Many of the politicians did not do up to this before they were suspended for the same reason, anti-party activities. And it goes on and on.
You are just asking a whole lot of
sorry, but I don't. Okay, let's start bit by bit. Let's start with, we won the election. We are going to win the election the way we won others.
Okay.
Let's start with that.
Of course. Apart from the fact that the beavers refused to work on the presidential election.
Yeah.
It works on the rest elections. So they won that way. Apart from that, he campaigned and actually worked for
the
APC in Rivers, and
they won
in Rivers. So he had, whether I still have it now or not, I don't know, the political structure in his hand in Rivers. And I think going from what Mr. Fubara is saying recently, I think he's still holding the ace in Rivers PDP, and maybe calculating who might win presidential election in Rivers State. So probably I can say it might be correct if we still have those structures can drive me out of PDP. He doesn't need to say that. Everybody knows that nobody can. Nobody.
So
because
it's a true statement.
He has done a whole lot of things to have driven him out of the place, and all of them are just fidgeting. Sorry for using that word. It appears that
it looks like it.
Yeah, it appears that whenever Wike sneezes, PDP is fidgeting, shaking as if they live on top of a stream.
But how did he get to that point?
Because because PDP itself left their pot unwashed and their food now burns. How is that? Because immediately they lost the 2015 election, all of them just went disarray. Mr. This former vice president
Atiku
went to Dubai to go and enjoy himself. Atiku was in Dubai throughout. He doesn't know. In fact, they couldn't even pay the salaries of their workers.
Imagine.
So it was Wike that came up and began to pay for them, trying to bring them back and all that. So, and that is why he's having a whole lot of things on them. Nobody can do anything against him.
No wonder I keep saying he has sacrificed a whole lot for the party.
He did. Actually, he did. But sometimes you don't bring things together and at the same time break the thing. So, and that is why elderly wisdom comes in. Sometimes even if you are on top, you have to be careful, irrespective of the fact whether you are the owner of that thing or not. You have to be careful because people are looking in bringing things together, a party like PDP together. You should not use your hand. Let me use the Nigerian language. Do not use your hand
to do yourself.
To do yourself. So I think what he's doing now is to using his hand to do himself. In fact, he would have been in a position like an elderly statesman. He would have become a statesman in PDP, trying to settle. He would have been the one, calling the shots, trying to settle whatever conflict that might have arose even amongst them. But now he's the one fighting this person today, fight that tomorrow. It's just everywhere like Ajantala. I don't understand. So I think he should, you have to sit back and rethink his strategy. But whether or not is an asset to this administration, wow, he is. Because he did a lot of things in Rivers State especially to make the winning of that election come to pass for Mr. President in Rivers.
Thank you.
Buying the right product is inconvenience. Either you're buying for your business or home use. Femiel Multiventures, your ultimate shopping destination, stands out when it comes to meeting your event and family needs. Explore our wide range of products and services today. Buy affordable wholesale foods and drinks for your next event or home use. We are also the best plug to get your rentals, chairs, plates, spoons, tables, coolers, drums, and all you need for your next event. At Femiel Multiventures, we also sell solid, durable, and affordable ice blocks to keep your drinks cool and refreshing. Come one, come all to also try our eatery and experience delicious meals like never before. You can find us at number 1 Pineapple Area, Iletitun along Oki Ogunbade axis. Telephone 0912 345 4561 or 0904 254 5770. Femiel Multiventures, your one-stop shop, evidence of things not seen.
Unlock your child's reading potential. Introducing Bookworm Empowerment Children Literacy Center. We nurture a love for reading and learning in children for lifelong education with technology assisted in teaching learning to read and reading to learn. Expert instructors with a passion for teaching reading. Personalized reading learning plans tailored to your children's needs. Fun, interactive and engaging learning environment. Small class sizes ensure individual attention. Regular progress updates and parent-teachers conferences. Our program consists cognitive and technical reading skills, phonics, phomic awareness, fluent reading, decoding, vocabulary, comprehension. Enroll your child at this very excellent period. Contact us to register your child right now on 0802 351 9154. Address GAF Building by Keto Petrol Station, Orogun off University of Ibadan, Second Gate. Empower your child with the gift of literacy.
All right, now you're welcome back. Let's take one more story and then we'll open the studio lines thereafter. All right, this is coming from Kalu. It says Boko Haram fueled by political elites to destabilize Tinubu. All right, former Abia State Governor and Senator representing Abia North, Orji Uzor Kalu, has alleged that elements within Nigeria's political elites are backing Boko Haram in a bid to destabilize President Bola Tinubu's administration. Speaking on a popular television show on Monday, Kalu claimed that the resurgence of the terrorist group was politically motivated and orchestrated by power-hungry individuals within the corridors of power. The political classes behind Boko Haram, they are using terrorism as a tool to fight Tinubu, just like they did with past administrations. When pressed to clarify who he referred to as the political class, the former governor pointed fingers at politicians, wealthy business people, and top-ranking civil servants. People in the political class are the ones fueling Boko Haram. This is a political war. Some of them aren't after money, they're after power. They want to tear down the system just to grab control, and that's not how power should be acquired. Partly end of quote, and he said. Right, so this is not the first time we're hearing this. I remember 2 weeks ago, I can't remember who now, maybe Zulum, not sure. But then he also made, such statements saying that, politicians and some military persons are behind Boko Haram and all the insurgency we might be experiencing in Nigeria. And here is Kalu again saying this, and out of the words of more than one person, a word is established. So this is, of course, we've had our speculations. Many people believe that, of course, this Boko Haram thing, as the hand of the big wigs in it. But here are also politicians, power that be as well, also lending their voice to all of this. So what do you have to say as regards this?
I think it's no longer speculations, especially coming from the former Mr. President, Goodluck Jonathan, that there are Boko Haram members in his own cabinet, and that it's serious, and that comes on the heel of somebody saying that because he did not win the election, it's going to make the country difficult to rule. And the witch cried last night and the child died this morning. Who doesn't know that it was the witch that cried yesterday that killed the child of today? It is no longer speculation, and since then it's been, you know, up and down, especially when it comes to electioneering time. You know, it will spike, meaning that somebody or some people are using you know, the romi that is making this thing to dance on the water. So like I said, it's been repeated severally that people in government, powerful people, are behind it, and that is why we've been saying on this platform that it is more than kinetic warfare alone. This is political. So because it was introduced politically, the only way we can solve this problem is to be political about it, and it's being political means dialogue, talking. Who are aggrieved? Why are they aggrieved? Let there be a conference. Invite all these people there. The NSA was advising that we should stop paying money, that Nigerians should stop paying. In fact, there was a letter that was leaked of, I think, Katsina State, where they were paying some kingpins 200 million, 150 million, 100 million, depending on the status of the kingpin. So if government are doing it and they are just paying lip service to it, to me, I think some people, apart from the fact that some people are using it for their own political agenda, some people are also supporting it or in it because of what they gain from there. You did not do anything, somebody just give you 200 million. Wow. I don't know what business you can do in this country that will fetch you 200 million naira at a go. Even if the naira is no longer naira,
even if you have been awarded the contract, I'm sure they will pay bit by bit.
But they just brought it like that with 200 million. You won't like to leave that thing now. So we need to talk. It's no longer about the military. The military are trying. In fact, they are. Most of the times I just look at it, and they even told us that even the weapons the Boko Haram and other insurgents are using are even more sophisticated than their own. Can you imagine? And again, Nigeria has failed to label these people terrorists. Rather, they call them insurgents. They are not insurgents. Insurgents are people that are, you know, craving, that have a particular thing they wanted to.
There's a cause
for it, and because government refused to talk, they now, you know, resorted to armed conflict. They just begin to kill and maiming and doing whatever they like, and government will be, you know, dialoguing with them. And somebody that says no, we don't want anybody to be in power, they just grab that person and throw him to jail. You can see the type of government that even we have sometimes. So, but I think rather than just belly aching, let there be a meeting. They know these people because they at least they paid money to them, meaning they know where they are. And even if they don't know, there is somebody that knows. Sheikh Gumi, he knows everything about them. Let them go and meet Sheikh. We will need to talk to your people, bring them to the table, and that will be it.
0705 500 1033 0905 444 1033 07 Barrister, do you have to even mention him? 0705 500 1033 0905 444 1033. Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning. My name is Caleb Alabi from Alata Shabolo.
You're welcome, Mr.
I just want
Alabi.
to comment on the statement guided to Oji Sokalu, the senator from Abia North, who said that Tinubu should start one minister as well as a service chief. From my own point of view, I agree with him because most of these ministers, they don't know, they can't differentiate or distinguish between the politics and the governance. Because most of them, their impact is not fair. They are rampant in his power. If what say service chief, all this power divided is all the day. You need to deploy technology, not be carry gun here and about. You can't give what you don't have. That's what they have. That one. On the weekend, who said that nobody can approve him in PDP? Is saying what the right thing, because he's the one that owed the PDP from going astray. When all these people ran away, weekend that stood and they showed that the PDP stand at one. But if they want to take a decisive step, it's better they expel him, because it's not in PDP. It's for PITC, if you are the city yourself.
Because that is where they are going to get their own money. 880 billion for maintenance of roads. When some roads are bad, like IBADAN, I-FLIER, I-FLIER, and so on, they will just continue to maintain the roads so as to get their own percent. That is the truth of it. So you cannot stop them from doing that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, please move away from the radio. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you, sir.
Please, can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Your name?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Aanu Nla.
All right, you're welcome.
Please, let me tell the barrister, he should stop poisoning the mind of all the masses. You understand? In Nigeria, if you want to talk about politics, you must take it down from even before the colonial masters came in. That will give you the true understanding of what really happened. In the first place, when the British came, they discovered we needed nothing and went back and brought the propaganda of schooling and religion. You understand? That is where we first lost everything. You get? Then the very first administration, the Obasanjo administration, imagine him selling Nigerian Airways. Look at how much you pay for all those things now. So it is not the present administration that is causing the problem. It is, the Bible says, if the foundation be destroyed, what can be righteous? Even the Bible did not answer it. You understand me? So the main problem now is we lost our identity of, we know there's something they call production of goods and services. Now everything is all about service. Nobody goes back to producing goods. There is our exporting of palm oil. There is our exporting of, all our export products are gone. We only deal with crude oil. Go and check the farmers in the suburbs. Look at how they are enjoying now. An average house in Ibadan before would have, they are gardening for vegetables, where you can substitute the money where you used to buy vegetables for something else. But we pay for everything now. So tell me, how would it be before? Growing up, there was, in education, there was something they were doing that and they called double promotion. They double promoted everybody. Now look at the state of education. Is it the president's fault? Please, you people should analyze everything very well before you come on air to say a lot of things that will keep poisoning everybody's mind. Instead of it to encourage people now to go back to agriculture so that things can get better. Please, let us do our research very, very well before we come on here to say a lot of jargons. I'm sorry for using that word. Do have a lovely day.
Thank you, Mr. Deyemo. All right, I will allow barrister comment before I say something.
No, don't comment to such rubbish. Because why should this be saying that jargon? So he has the right to his whatever. So I won't give him that this thing to reply.
Okay, all right, but it is very important for you to also note that you have to use the right kind of words, please. We beseech you by the mercies of God. And it's also important for us to also put it out there that whatever it is you have said right now, the president is aware before he actually promised, and then he came on board, to fill into the shoes. So it means that if he's coming on board, he's trying to make impacts as well. All right. So we are not particularly antagonizing anybody on this show. We are only talking about what we can see, what is obvious to all. I know a lot of persons want to also react this morning, but that will be after this commercial. We'll be right back.
Are you looking for the perfect spot to host your next event? Or maybe a cozy place to relax and have some fun? Welcome to Multipurpose Hall. Whether it's a wedding, birthday, seminar, or family gathering, our event center is perfectly designed to give you a grand experience. You can as well watch football matches at our viewing center, which brings the stadium experience right to you. For the kids, our children playground is packed with fun and safety. We also have a game center with varieties to keep the fun going and a guest house for relaxation and comfort. Why settle for less when you have the best? Located beside Eagle Flight Academy, Amero, along Oki Ogunbade axis, Ibadan. Visit Femiel Multipurpose Hall today or call us on 0912 345 4561 or 0904 245 5770 for bookings and inquiries. Femiel Multipurpose Hall. Experience more. Enjoy more.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I am speaking with Billy. I'm calling from Okinwe.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah, good morning. Just morning, sir.
2 or 3 I want to see within minutes.
Okay.
Number one, they talk about the roads that take 880 billion to spend. I'm not too small. When Babangida start the road from Ibadan to Ife, then that time, you see, after another one, go to Ife. Our people call people that are matter. They are the cause of our problem today. As I said, I'm not supposed to say to mention the name. There, our Oba, Olubuse was given that road. See, at the end of the people, they made the very rich. See what will become of the road. Since that time, they have been doing the party all the time. Tell about that one. It's of wicked that it's an asset. It's not a liability. It's a shame for a country that fails to know the truth. Somebody is doing what's called the anti-party, and you see mistake to that membership. It's too bad now. Then what caused the PDP just to take action? That's about that one. The finally flaw that took place, Makwa, it is the part of the government and the people called the ancestral people. They do believe that they cannot but fall for their ancestral home. Why is it so? And the government, you know, the life to sustain it. That's my point. Please, our government fails to do what is a statement of us. That's my point. God bless you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, good morning, marvelous.
Good morning, Tolu.
Yeah, our daddy.
Yeah, Tolu. How are you this morning?
Yeah, well done.
Thank you very much.
You see, it's quite unfortunate and very disastrous. You can see how some people defending this gun, despite the level of hardship, as if they are not in this country. We knew how the country were before this president came on board, and we can all see what is currently going on in the country. See, there's no two-way to it. The 2 years administration of President Tinubu is nothing but a monumental failure. In all ramifications, it does not need or require any agreement. Because when you do the analysis, you will discover that he is coming on board has done more of harm than good to us. Because he said, please, I still bring down the price of fuel. No. Everything has turned upside down since he came on board. And yet, some people are still saying we should be blaming this, blaming that. No. We must call a spade, and we must be able to speak truth to power. As far as I'm concerned, he needs to review all his economic policies because they are not working at all. Sincerely, thank you. Good morning.
Thank you, Tolu. All right, from Rose Adiola says, good morning. The unfortunate flooding in Niger State is really a sad one, and I believe this could have been prevented had it been the governor taken necessary actions. I would just urge the state governors to do the needful on time in dredging rivers and streams, and the Oyo State government should not stop doing the needful as far as flooding is concerned, because we can see the positive result in the state. Oluwaseun Root says it seems the days of insecurity are not yet over, because the yet another killing in Benue really shows the federal government hasn't done anything tangible to curb the menace of insecurity as claimed. And I will keep imploring the federal government to stop politicizing insecurity and give way for the state police, because security is local, and also allow the local security outfits to bear more sophisticated weapons. I know this government knows what to do, but it's now obvious they're after their selfish interest. Thank you. Hello? Hello, good morning, sir.
How was your night, ma'am?
Very fine. Good morning, Daddy Ayodele.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Good morning this morning, sir. How are you today, sir?
Good morning, sir.
Thank you, sir.
I'm Pastor Ayodele. I'm speaking from Alakia.
You are welcome, sir.
You see, only the taco fans that are benefited from the crumbs that drops from their master table, that will be supporting this government or will be praising this government. The past 2 years has been so hellish for Nigeria. What is the tuition fee? What was the tuition fees of higher institution students in the university before 2023? How much is it now? What is the cost of food items before 2023? What is it now? I think those people that are trying to support this government and trying to antagonize those who want to be constructive in their expression on the situation of the country, they should keep silent. If you are benefiting from the rot of the system, that one doesn't mean that everybody is benefiting. The larger population of Nigerians are suffering hellish. Most of our young ones have been turned to Yahoo boys. There are a lot of dropouts from higher institutions. Many parents will no longer feed their family. These places are winding up, holding up every day. Somebody will come up here and say that it's 1960. We should go back to that. Those who are talking like that, they belong to the Indomie generation. They don't know what they say. They should keep quiet. Somebody of us that have been over 60 years, we know how this country was before this democratic system since 1999. What are they saying? So I think they should stop saying, they should stop agonizing. We are against this government. Which government are we against? Are we not human beings? But must we die in silence? No, we can't be suffering and be trying. God will rescue and deliver us from this oppressive government. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Daddy Ayodele. All right, we have more from the Facebook page actually. Olakule Akomu, it says, good morning. Good morning to you too, sir. Well done, great theme. I-FLIER radio is the best. Food, energy, and security is what should be given greater attention in the remaining 2 years of federal, state, and local governments. God bless our great nation, Nigeria. All right, we also have this one from Adesui Samuel. The recent hazard claiming innocent lives are heartbreaking, and the flood news is distressing. It's time state government took responsibility for dredging waterways, educating citizens on proper waste disposal, and providing disposal means. I urge the pacer to the governor to lead the way and not relent. All right, Pastor Dr. Mukaila Famiwa says, may the souls of the departed on Mocha Rivers rest in peace. Good morning, my dear beloved daughter. Good morning, my dear SAN. Good morning, all I-FLIER fans club, ESCOs and members. Happy new month of June. Thank you, sir. Prince Bumi Adefusi says, good morning to you, our dear marvelous and brilliant analyst. I still don't know if our leaders are deriving joy on the issue of insecurity. For how long would they fold their hands and be watching innocent citizens to be losing their lives cheaply to the bandits when we have government? It's no more news that the 9th Assembly and 10th Assembly has failed Nigeria on security. Coming from Prince Bumi Adefusi. Olawumi Okwarinde says, good morning, well done. Ademola Adebayo says, I want to say that man that called and was condemning the analyst analysis of barrister is a politician. Just ignore him. All right. Thank you very much, Adebayo from Okioshun. Right. We have this other one from Pastor Dr. Mukala. He says, okay, you're still talking about Mr. Adeyemo here. As you are entitled to your opinion, likewise, our analyst is. You are to say your opinion in a polite and decent way on air. All right. Thank you so much for adding to it, sir. Right. We have this one from okay, a lot of bass is happening on Facebook right now. I don't even know which one to take. Okay, let me just take the comment from Kolawole Adaramola. He says, let's continue to enjoy Nigeria like that. Let's continue to feel Omilu until our head is correct all in Nigeria. We will all continue to be a comedian in Nigeria, talking and talking without nothing changing. Let us change the ugly system and country. Restructuring and total overhaul of this country would do it. Very unfortunate and shameful in a country called Nigeria. Burkina Faso president is just 35 years old. Go and look at what he's doing in Burkina Faso. God bless Burkina Faso. Okay, so you want to catapult too?
God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria too. Thank you. Right. We also have this one from Omade Adekunle on the flooding issue. Our government needs to take the issue